Hey y'all, it's Chloe and we're back with another video, you guys. We are here to talk about Jerrette and Iyanna. Their divorce, I guess, is getting a little bit messy now because Iyanna recently came out and said that Jerrette cheated on her, and that is when she decided that it was time to go. So yesterday on Little Black Book's channel, Iyanna popped up because he had a title, and the title said, "We don't feel bad for Iyanna because she should have never married. She should have never married Jerrette anyway." Child, that made Ayanna mad, so she said it's time to pull up, and she popped up on him. Okay, when she got on the live, she did talk about a lot of things that we'll get into at a later date, but I want to talk about the fact that she said that Jerrette was going to try to use an incident against her, and the incident that he was going to use against her was a time she went out to the club and had some fun, got too drunk, and went with a man. She explains it a little bit more in detail, so let's get into that clip, and then we'll come back to discuss it, and then we'll go into Jerrette's clip, okay? Okay.
And I mean, again, like I get it. I get it. He's in a defensive mode. But I don't like that he's gonna use this situation against me because
What
it's
situation?
not.
Ayanna, what situation are you talking about, baby? Hmm?
Oh my God.
What situation is he going to use against you,
So
baby?
when we first got married,
Uh-huh.
I went out with some women I had just met, but I felt, and see, once again, I relinquished trust way too quickly. But I felt like I thought every woman lived by like girl code. Like if you come together, you leave together. If you go to the bathroom, you make sure that they're safe. But these women didn't live by that exact code. And we were all drinking, and I sometimes, and this is why I don't drink. This is why I don't like to drink often, because I know sometimes I have a hard time like understanding, like, okay, now is when you stop. um, and I learned this in college. It was bad. I used to black out all the time, which is, and I thought it was normal because I used to do it so often. People are like, I know that's not normal, and I'm like, what? And that's when I just learned to stop drinking. But we were out, and I was really just keeping up with everybody else. Everybody else was like, oh, I'm gonna go to drink. Well, yeah, get me one too. And I blacked out. And within an hour, I was at a random bar with some random guy, and I came to. And I remember yelling at this man, "No, I'm married, I'm married." But I remember him just following me around a lot. And at around like 2:30 in the morning, Jared gets off of work, and he's like, "Ayanna, I'm coming to pick you up." And I made sure I actually looked at these text messages yesterday because I was downward spiraling. And he's like, "Ayanna, I'm coming to get you." And I was like, "Okay, okay." But I remember trying to send him my location, but I ended up sending him his contact information, and that's just like how drunk I was. But when he came to get me, this guy had the nerve to say like, "Oh no, bro, she's good." And I'm surprised Jared didn't punch him in the face then. But Jared was like, "All right, we gotta go." And at this point, I'm belligerently drunk, like
Mm.
belligerently drunk. And I remember saying, "Oh, wasn't it nice that that guy was checking on me?" And Jared looked at me like, "I don't know if you don't shut the fuck up." And then and then I was like, "Oh, I need to check on the girls." And then he got even more upset with me. He was like, "Why are you checking on these women who aren't checking on you?" And then I blacked out again. But the next morning, I woke up, and the shower curtain was broken because apparently I'd fallen into the tub. Like, it was just a hot ass mess. And Jared was like, "Ayanna, you don't know what was happening with you and this guy." And I was like, "No, nothing happened. Like, I know nothing happened." Because I remember pushing him off saying, "No, I'm married. I'm married." And I remember telling him, like, I'm also concerned about my behavior too. I never want to repeat, and I never repeated it again. But I was like, I never want to repeat that again. But I realized in retrospect, me expressing how concerned I also was made him feel like he
Something's might have been on.
well, not even that, he felt invalidated and like I shut him down. And
Oh.
but the weird part is I went and I looked back at our text messages, and he texted me saying like, "I just need last night to never happen again." And I remember in the text message, I saw it, and I said, "That will never happen again. I promise you, this is not a repeated behavior. That was a one-time incident. I will never drink that much again. I'm a tiny person. I have to just be honest about that." Um, and then he sent me a kissy face. But then he didn't bring it up again until a year later when I asked for a divorce. And we were in, I asked my
Mm.
therapist for a couple more sessions. And I said, I just want to make sure like we have some closing out sessions, make sure we're coping well, making sure, everything's good. And that's when he decided to bring it up. And I was very confused. And I was like, why are you bringing this up a year later? He was like, well, you shut me down. I never want to talk about it again. And I was like, okay. I was like, well, I apologize. Like, I never want that. Like, I don't want you to feel like I shut you down like that. That's not okay. Um, so I know he's probably going to talk about that. But again, I still.
Now, this is exactly what I would call jumping ahead of the situation before you, because she knew exactly what Jerrette was going to use, and this incident was one of it. I find it hard to believe that Iyanna cheated on Jerrette, because she was so quick to divorce him when she found out that he allegedly cheated on her. And I'm going to say allegedly because he has came out and said that he did not cheat. She cheated first. Even though she did receive the email, which he's going to read to us, the email was not all the way accurate. Yes, he did have the girls in the house, but he did not kiss or touch on them or fumble them or anything like that. He also recalls the event that Ayanna is talking about right now from his perspective. Let's go ahead and get into that, and then I'll be back.
It's dated March 8th, 2022. So this email goes, "Hey, this is unfortunate to send you, but I just wanted to let you know that a few weeks ago, I met Jerrette at Tunnel. He ended up inviting me and my friends back to his place, which we later on found out he did not live at alone. We did kiss and there was some touching in private places, but there was no sex. I honestly have gone back and forth about whether or not to mention this at all, but I just feel like it isn't fair to you. To not know. I'll go into details if you want, but I just have to clear my conscience and reach out and tell you what your husband is doing." So that night, I was out. The show had already came out, and we was out partying, me and my friends, celebrating the show, celebrating me and everything, like just having a good ass time partying and drinking at my house. At the time, me and my ex-wife, she was at her place because she didn't want to watch the show together. So that's fine. I mean, it is what it is. But these women, they came back, and me being the nice person that I am, I offered them, I had like, yeah, shit, we all gonna drink, let's have a good time. I wasn't gonna drink no more because I was done. I was tired, I was ready to go to sleep, I was done. Now, I've owned up to the fact that I shouldn't have never invited them to my crib in the first place. One, I've apologized time and time again to Ayanna about that. So that alone, shit was poor decision making on my end. And I understand that, I take accountability for that. Should have never happened. Secondly, everything that was said that happened did not happen. This girl said that we kissed and there was touching in private places but no sex. None of that happened. Like, I didn't touch this woman. I didn't, none of that. They got here, we sat down. I was like, here's the bottle, here's the liquor, all that, and y'all go at it, y'all have at it. And I went and laid down in my bed. Maybe like 5-10 minutes later, I hear, "Oh, hell no, girl, we gotta go. This man got a whole girlfriend here. Why he invite us here, blah, blah, blah." And left. And that was that. That was that. What am I lying about? I have the whole ass email here. Like, come on now. But it wasn't just them. It was my homeboys too. Like, they was just the only, I actually had to drive. I ended up driving her car because she was too drunk to drive, her and her friends. So I was like, fuck with shit. We all going back to the same place with shit. I'll drive. But was that poor decision making on my end? Absolutely. I apologize for that. And I was a man about that. And I was like, you know what? Like, I understand how this look optics wise. Like, this shouldn't have never happened. I should have never invited them here. So I get it. I understand that. But everything else that transpired after that, that shit did not happen. Like, I take accountability for what I did, but like everything else that happened, everything after that did not happen. And for this to come out now, especially for somebody that I really truly cared about, it hurt. Because I've always been a person, like, I've never been, although my life is on public display, I've always kept things private. Like, social media will only get one side of me, and that's the side that I allow y'all to see. Like, I won't put my business out there, whatever I got going on, like, you rarely see it, because I'm just a private person, and I just feel like some certain things doesn't need to be in the public eye. And then there's this follow-up email that, of course, the old girl was like, yeah, if you want to know more details, like, hit me up and I'll let you know. The more details the more detailed email was vague as hell and didn't have anything because nothing happened. Nothing happened.
Now, I do want to jump in and say that if you was going to show us the first email and then say there was a follow-up email, why didn't you read that one? I mean, if nothing happened and nothing was explained in it, you should have read it just like you read the first one. That's why something in my gut is telling me something about this is not all the way right, because he was so quick to read the first email. Why not read the second one? The one that Iyanna said had all the details down to like the pictures and everything inside the house.
But I felt like from that point on, like there was doubt casted through the entire relationship or the remainder of the relationship, and it was just something that I could never come back from. Even though like I pled with her and told her like, yo, like I apologize a million times, none of this happened. Like I don't know what more you want me to do. Like I can only tell you like this is some random person. This did not happen. But the one thing I do want to talk about, and it pains me to say this, but it's like me trying to protect somebody and trying to, you know what I'm saying, keep things private is it's tough. But I too went through a similar situation that she hasn't talked about. Probably about the first month of our marriage, she was out with some of the female castmates. They went out. They were drinking. They were out at some bar. I was at work. I was working doing security that night, and she was out having a good old time. Nothing out of the blue. Like she was getting drunk. Fine, that's fine. Go ahead, have fun. So, woo. When I get off work, I go pick her up. I'm calling her, no answer. Looking at her location, it's telling me she's at this one location. So I go inside this location and I'm looking for her.
Oh, and I just want to add that I did screen record this from Justika on YouTube. So that is not me typing the sentences in the comments. Okay, that's not me, y'all. But thank you, Justika.
Cannot find her. Call her again. No answer. I'm not throwing anybody under the bus. I'm just speaking my truth. But when I did find her, it's not a lie. Ask her, she would tell you. When I did find her, she was holding hands with another guy walking down the stairs. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? What is this? She was drunk. We went home. We got into an argument when we got home because I'm like, what is this? Who is this guy? Why are you holding this guy's hand? This, that, and the third. And then the very next day, because I'm like, you know, I'm not about to have this conversation. You're drunk, I'm sober. The very next day, we're having this conversation and I'm hit with I blacked out, I don't remember. Does that excuse you for whatever actions happened in between this time that you do remember, you don't remember? I don't know. Nobody's trying to figure out a story. This is actually why. Go ask her. Go ask her. She'll tell you. 100% she'll tell you. That was something that I had to deal with very early on. Some hurt that I had to deal with very early on. But you know what? I was just like, you know what? I'm still gonna work through this shit, figure this out, and try to get over this. Y'all funny talking about doing tit for tat. I don't know he was not helping her down the stairs. It's not. This is somebody that was with them. He met her out when they was out drinking or whatever. And I know this because one of my homeboys was drinking with all of them too. And then they all just separated and she still stayed outside.
So y'all, it sounds like from what I understand that he can't say for sure that she cheated on him, But he's saying that something happened and she never could clarify what did or did not happen because she blacked out, which she also stated she blacked out. So this is just one of them things where it's like they both have two different perspectives of what happened in their relationship, and they both consider what each other did cheating. Because technically, if he says that she was walking down the stairs with a man holding hands and this, that, and the other, and he sees that as cheating, then I guess that's what we have to take it for. The same thing as with, Iyanna said that the girl told her that he was kissing her and touching on her. If that's what she perceives as cheating, then that's exactly what happened. So in this case, I feel like maybe they both did do things to each other in this marriage. But I do want to say that I don't think that walking down the steps holding somebody's hand is cheating, okay? Let's just make that very clear. But if that's what he considers cheating, then oh, well, I guess we have to validate that feeling. Even though we already know that Jerrette's full of ish and he's just saying this so he can make himself feel better about the fact that he had them girls in that house. But ultimately, y'all, they should have never been married anyway. Jerrette never really saw for Iyanna. And the sad part is that she actually admitted that on a live. If I could find the footage, I will add it in. But if not, you guys, she definitely said that he was never into her. And I really feel bad for her to have to deal with this relationship for a long time, okay? And then for it to end in such a traumatic way to the point where, like, there's another woman telling you that she was involved with your man. No one ever wants to hear that or have to deal with that or accept that, especially when you love, okay? So I really hope that they figure this out because, baby, y'all been getting divorced for how long now? And y'all out here telling all your business. But, it always kind of gets a little messy when the divorces start happening. So I'm not surprised at all that it's come out to this. But I always had this feeling that Jerrette was cheating. I feel like he was too comfortable bringing a woman to the house as if he had done it before. I also feel as though, like, he was always out partying, always doing the most. And even in that interview with Little Black Book, Iyanna said that Iyanna said that he would actually get home before the sun. Now, I've been told, never let the sun beat you home. Now, if you come home after the sun, then that means you was somewhere that you was not supposed to be. Because ain't no clubs open to 6 in the morning. I don't know about that, okay? Okay. But with all that being said, you guys get in the comments and let me know what you think, how you feel about the situation. Do you feel like they both were wrong in this relationship, or do you think it was Jerrette or Iyanna? Let me know down below. The full interview for Little Black Book and Iyanna is on Little Black Book 91's channel. The whole video for Jerrette's IG live that I found was on Just Tinka on YouTube. So you guys go ahead and check out the full videos if you want to. But with that being said, I'm signing off. Don't forget to like this video, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel. Peace, y'all. Bye.